All right, so week 8, I think this is week 8 coming up. And for the Chicago Bears, they're going to look to rebound against the San Francisco 49ers. In this video, it's going to be a very quick video, not too long. I'm going to give y'all 5 keys the Bears should do to be able to win against the San Francisco 49ers. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here. Back at it with another video. Back at it with another prediction video. And, yeah, this is a bad situation the Bears are in. There's not a lot of good things to take into this game. That being said, I'm going to try to find some things they should do to be able to win. I think that starts with the most obvious thing is you got to figure out something on offense. Figure out your identity on offense. The Bears don't know whether they want to be a running team, a gun team, a power running team, a zone team. They need to find an identity on offense. There's still 9 more games to go. And the Bears are dead last in passing yards. And I think in points scored, like second to last in points scored. So, offense has not been great. They only put up 3 points yesterday. So they need to find an identity. If they're gonna run the ball, they need to run the ball with purpose. Look to score with it. Which brings me to my next point, is you need to run the ball with purpose. The San Francisco 49ers defense is not what it was 2-3 years ago. They're still a good unit, but they're not what they once were. They're not the best defense in the league. The Colts had very good success running the ball and passing it. Overall, they picked apart that San Francisco 49ers defense. But they also ran the ball with purpose. They ran the ball to get points. They ran the ball to try to get points. The Bears don't run the ball to try to get points. They just run the ball just to say they did it. In this game, this is going to be a big key because I always say it week after week. Khalil Herbert is good. You have a good running game, so you need to use it to your advantage. And use that running game, that strong running game, to put points on the board. You don't have to, run every single down, but that sets up other things that you can do with your playbook. Point number 3, and that brings me into point number 3, is you need to open the playbook up more for Justin Fields. Justin Fields is struggling, to say the least. Not all of it is his fault. A lot of times he only has about 2 points. 7 seconds to throw? I also saw a set that he had 1.9 seconds to throw. So he's not getting a lot of time back there. Especially when you're sitting back in gun, when you have 2 backup tackles playing on the edge rushers. What the Bears need to do is they need to open up their play, at least for the remainder of the season. You don't expect, at this point, I'm pretty sure Bears fans don't expect, for us to go into like a playoff berth or anything like that. But now, it's just about winning. Not about winning, it's just about developing Justin Fields. But you can't do that if you don't open up the playbook. The playbook has been very monotone, boring, and just overall horrible because they haven't got any separation with the receivers. They haven't ran the ball well enough to win. They haven't run plays that put Justin in a good situation. Mac Jones for the New England Patriots has more designed QB runs than Justin Fields so far. They have not run a single option. So what they need to do is that whoever is going to be calling plays on Sunday, whether that's Matt Nagy, who's out with COVID for right now, so I don't know, whether that's Bill Lazor, hopefully it's Bill Lazor, he needs to figure out how to get Justin Fields more involved in this offense and how to make him more successful in this offense. Because the one they're running right now isn't working. Point blank, period. Point number 4 is they're going to have to figure out a way to not only attack this 49ers secondary, but to keep Fields upright. Fields took, 4 or 5 sacks the other day? He leads the league in being sacked. He's been sacked 22 times. I know people in the comments are probably saying, well, he holds the ball too long. When you have 1.92 seconds to throw, you're not getting the ball away at any point. Whether you're throwing it away, whether you're throwing it to a receiver, you're not getting away. So, to do that, you have to protect your quarterback. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe they need to go into more max protect. But what this situation screams to me is that this team is not good enough to just sit back and gun and try to pick apart a defense. The same thing we've been saying for the last 4 years. This team is not built to sit and gun and be a pass-happy offense. This team is built to be put under center and get the line moving. Those line players are at best when they're moving. And, if you don't have a good offensive line, you should be structuring, plays that help your offensive line. Don't hang them out there to dry. I know they're not very good, but the job as a coach is to structure plays so you'll be successful. This week you're going against Nick Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in the league. Fred Warner is a great linebacker. He can blitz and he can cover. And you got other pieces on there that can definitely get to the quarterback. So sitting back and gun is probably not the best idea. You're not going to be able to block Nick Bosa with single block him with Latavius Simmons or Alex Bars, even though Alex Bars played pretty well last week. The one good news for the Bears' offensive line is that both Larry Borom, who's expected to be back this week, according to Jason Peters, and Tevin Jenkins will be back soon. Tevin Jenkins, according to Jason Peters, will be back soon, so you're getting a little bit of help in the offensive line. Maybe then your offense changes, but for right now, they need to get under center, and they need to not only run the ball, but they need to run play action in routes upfield to be able to attack this 49ers secondary. It's the same 49ers secondary that got torched for 30 the other day. So, they need to figure that out fast. And keep him upright. There's so many things that are wrong with this team right now. But him being sacked 22 times is not a good way to start off your career. Point number 5, I think. The pass rush and the defense is going to have, especially the pass rush and the secondary, are going to have to step up big time. Khalil Mack will most likely not play. He has a foot injury, I think, and he's been nursing that foot injury for a while now. He hasn't been able to practice, and I think now is the worst time to lose him in the most critical stretch of the season. You lose Khalil Mack. It is unknown how long he will be out. However, I think it's inferred that he will stay on short-term IR. There will probably be no Robert Quinn because he's still on the COVID reserve list. So now you're going to have to rely on your depth at pass rush, whether that's Travis Gibson or Jeremiah Tachu. You got guys, you got to get some guys to generate pressure. And I feel like Sean Desai will have to draw up blitzes this week. Obviously, you're going against Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offensive line. More often than not, the 49ers are a running team, so you wouldn't have to worry about them just blowing you up with the passing game. However, if you give Garoppolo time and you let him take the short routes just like Tom Brady, he will annihilate you just like Tom Brady did. So, to counteract that, I think the Bears need to send blitzes at Garoppolo because you're not going to have your two best pass rushers. I don't think Akeem Hicks is going to be coming back. So, and your secondary has not played well, but they need to step up big time. You're not going against Mike Evans or Devontae Adams this week. You're going against Brandon Ayuk and, what's his name? Deebo Samuel. You know, it's a big step down in competition. I expect the secondary to play a little bit better. Eddie Jackson, he needs to play better. He needs at least one interception this year. Tackling needs to be good. I expect the linebackers to play all right. At least the middle two linebackers. Really not much they can do. But, yeah. Point number 5 stands. Just find some way to get to Garoppolo. Make him uncomfortable. That Colts game was not very good for him. He was wild. And, you know what? Garoppolo's alright, but he's not going to pick you apart like Tom Brady. If you let him sit back there, though, he will. So, overall, the final score of this game, what I think the final score of this game will be 27-7 49ers. Can anybody really vouch for the Bears offense at this point? Justin Fields has been sacked, 22 times. They have been unable to get receivers in stride, get them up the field. Everybody looks out of sync. They just look horribly unprepared, and now more drama is coming out of Hallis Hall, along with all the injuries and the COVID and all that stuff. So the Bears are in a volatile state right now. I predict another bad loss. I really think after this bad loss that personally I would be chopping heads. Personally, to me. Now, it should have happened last game, but you know what? Bears management didn't feel that way. They never fire coaches mid-season, but sometimes that tradition needs to change. Overall, 27-7 49ers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you comment your prediction in the comment section. I will be reading them. Leave your honest opinion on, do you really think the Bears are going to be able to win these next few stretches of games, especially this one? Make sure you subscribe. It helps me make more content. Share the video with your friends. Follow me on social media because, as usual, I will be tweeting throughout the game. And I'm out. Peace.